I make the what?
I make a star.
Oh, what? Like, ooh, what you gon' do?
The
We
white
grow
voice.
our own and make our.
I said,
Hey,
been in the trenches, did my mind right, doing them dishes, walking on water.
whoa.
Ooh, hey,
If you let in,
it's couture, this
No.
not costume. I count money like it's
Yo, hold
my
on.
fetish.
I've been vetted, don't forget it. Gotta say it 3 times so you get it. I just
Said it.
It just fit it. What can I do? You get okay. Hold on.
What he said?
Said you wanna eat, better bring a plate. Never do the money like I run away. Never do the money like I run away. Cause it's take to my stomach ache. Oh, take my shirt off, bump my color. We made the sun shine and we made the moon walk. We got that what?
You got the plan,
we
walking
go
the road with the spoons.
for
Eating up everything that I see.
Let them blues going head to the sky, right the head to the sky. Up in that score, I can't lose. I make that earth shake. I make that star shoot. I shine on you like ooh, like ooh, like ooh. What you gon' do? On food. Woo!
Make some noise for Yazi one time.
That's my shit right there, y'all. Woo! So.
It's the white man voice. We be forgetting this nigga not all the way a nigga, bro. I be forgetting.
Don't forget, y'all. My mother is white.
That is a white woman.
It's a white woman. Born and raised in Kettering, Ohio. Stop playing.
Oh, that's near Middletown. Damn near.
Oh, yeah. Catholic family. She one of them Kettering Catholics, dog.
okay.
Oh, yeah. I got that generational trauma.
I'm sorry, bro. Do you want a hug now, nigga?
Nah. I do want to do this, though. I would like to bring to the stage that nigga, Siri Imani.
I'm not gonna hold you. That was not enough applause. Can y'all make some noise for Siri Imani one more
was
time?
that?
I better act like the realist is in the room. Tell him to stop playing with you.
So I performed that real quick. I performed that song.
I was so proud of that. That was good.
No, thank you for that song.
Both parts was ambitious.
Thank you. I tried to switch my characters up as best I could.
I saw
on the fly.
you put a little high voice. You said,
Thank you.
It was cute.
So that's how I perform. Every song I did, that is a live action view of how I perform those songs when I'm in the house or in the vehicle. Or at anyone's house when any of my nigga songs plays, because this is the actual fact that I understand and know and believe to be true. All of this, what we like to call local underground talent here, is better than 75 to 85% of what the world has to offer.
90.
90. I'll give 90. Yeah. And so like if we don't be the example to like give that energy, jam out in our houses, share that with the world, you know, these people won't have any highlights on them. So it is up to us. It being up to us, particularly what I would like to talk to you about is community. I don't want to talk about the good aspects of community with you, because you can just look at the resume. What I particularly would like to discuss with you is, first off, how would you like to see yourself? Like, what would it look like to be more nourished in the way that you envision it?
That's loaded. I think it might change. It might change as life goes on. But I think right now, I feel like the need to be seen and understood more than anything. I feel like I did a lot of work, which was seen, but I don't feel like I was ever seen in the midst of that. And just what the whole night has been about, like genuine connections is something that I felt like outside of like my tribe and my chosen people who I keep close, I feel like I haven't been able to have those type of experiences for multiple reasons. And some are due to myself, like in the way I protected myself, the way that I thought I had to like maneuver just to make it and go get another day through, like, but overall I do see myself wanting more like genuine connections, and I think that's the way I can be supported, because so much comes with that. Like when it's genuine care, when it's genuine love, people just move differently for you anyway, versus when it's like a resource or when it's like a distant person that you know of but don't really know, or you know what I'm saying. So that's more so what I'm looking for, because I want to do the same thing too, you know. And to be fair, I haven't had the time to be a genuine friend, honestly, in a long time. But that's what I'm looking to do now, and that's what I'm looking for as well.
What do you see making more time looks like for you to nourish yourself in that way?
Well, it looks like ending a lot of these events. I think people are used to seeing me do. You know, it does. I think people know that, but like, unless you're in the day to day, which my tribe and a lot of the staff, they are they in it day to day, and they're tired as well. Like you will start to burn out, and you will start to like just lose the patience, lose the desire, lose the inspiration for a lot of things that at one point fueled you. And for me, like, I realized at that moment, like, okay, it's time to take a step back. It's time to also move into the next chapter. I think I told you many times, we talk about it all the time, like, I am a triple earth sign, and I am comfortable wherever I'm planted. I'm like, I'm just going to make this the best it can be. I never think about, you probably should be somewhere else at a certain point. And I'm usually propelled into those type of next chapters for me. Right now, I'm trying to recognize that earlier, so I don't have to be violently propelled into a next chapter. I can just ease into it, and I feel like this time where I'm most proud of myself is it started to get turbulent, but before I let it get completely like out of control, which it has many times where I've had to go away, come back, figure it out. I was able to just be like, let go right now. Let go right now. Be a person. Figure out what that even means. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where I'm at right now.
So what is this actively as you're going through it? I think this is an important thing for all of us to know. Like just not with you, but as us individuals is. So what are how are you managing that active grief of shedding, not just a version of yourself, because that is very, very painful, but also that version of yourself had a lot of people relying on you as well. So how is that? And it should be fuck niggas, but you know when you actually like have a heart, it's like it never really is. It's just shit talk, right? So how's that grieving process been for you as you're going through it?
Up and down, like every grieving process is. You know, I think it always takes me a little minute to figure out I'm grieving. I'm used to feeling feelings that I'm not necessarily comfortable with. Not all the time I'm able to like identify it as grief. I think this time I knew I was gonna grieve because I knew what I wanted to do ahead of time. Like I had put this specific break like in my mind and in my actions ahead of time. So I knew I was gonna grieve it, and specifically like when we're talking about things like Comet that have been here, and we've all grown up in. Those are things you're gonna naturally grieve, but it's like going back to what Deo said. Like I was the same way. Where you know how I would, basketball was my number one. It was never supposed to be rap, poetry, any of that. My mom too told me I was way more than that, but I wasn't trying to hear it. I was trying to dunk on these niggas. So like that, I really put all of my soul or all of my eggs into one basket, and I'm used to doing that. That's just who I am. Like I find a lane, and I'm like, put everything you have into that. And my mom been telling me for years, like, girl, don't do that. Girl, don't do that. But, you know, when your heart is in something and when you just have, like, this real innocent, raw, hungry energy, that's just kind of how it works. You propel everything that you are into it. I think what this chapter, again, looks like for me now, though, is just letting go. I don't really feel like I have much to prove anymore, which took a minute to, like, feel that way from going towards the environment that we were introduced in, the environment that I came in, which if you were there, you know. If you weren't, you cannot even imagine. But going from that, then moving into being a solo artist, like it was always something I had to prove, or I felt the need to prove, or I had to make myself like be visible, be consistent. Also, I didn't lose what I felt like was everything to me at the time, which was a legacy I didn't even know I would have left, but I felt it. And because of that, like I pushed myself in ways that we're both really healthy and really unhealthy. And I think now that I'm older and I've been blessed with a beautiful team and family, I've been blessed with, dead ass. I've been blessed with a beautiful community too that like is actually like starting to see me, in my opinion. Even if they don't see me the way I want them to, they're starting to just acknowledge what I am, which was something I never got, ever got. No matter how many things I did, no matter how amazing it was, I never got to feel that because nobody ever let me feel it, you know? So I think now that I've gotten to have those moments and then we built things that I've gotten to recognize as way beyond me, I've stopped stressing so much about my specific journey. And I'm like, this is my journey. This is a hell of a legacy. This is a legacy that most people don't even get. So why am I so stressed out about how I'm going to turn out at the end of it? And why am I constantly doing things to secure my position in something I'm already a part of? And yeah, that's kind of where the peace comes in, where you're like, I don't need to prove anything anymore. And also, I just want to be amongst you all. Like, it's in a very isolating, I think a lot of curators can probably feel it, but it's a very isolating feeling when you're creating these experiences. You don't get to necessarily feel like someone amongst the experience. And then just the way things work, from financials to opportunities to the lack of opportunities, you're put in positions where you don't get to feel like the community that you're helping build.
You are othered.
You are othered. You are a curator. You are a person that we come to for money. You know what I'm saying?
People just naturally just approach you differently. It's weird. It's just like, treat me regular, but you can't because you're not acting regular.
Exactly. It's like, and I know I'm not too. And I also, you know, in my own protection, that's where I ate in that. But going to what I want and knowing what I want is a part of the community that I built. Is beautiful. We all built this community starting from shit like 2015 up until now. Before that with my mom's generation. So it's like, I want to experience it. I love everybody in it. I want to have these genuine connections. I don't want to wake up and be like, I was just y'all curator.
Yes.
That's not what I feel like my position was. But in order to step into another chapter where I could be more than just people's curator, people's resource, whatever, I had to start doing things differently. I had to take things away. I had to add things. I had to be vulnerable. I had to let people see me. I had to do all type of stuff. And that's really what I'm dedicating a lot of my time to now, is just being amongst the people that I love, building genuine connections that don't feel like they're transactional, and enjoying it, like really enjoying it and being present in it.
So what that reminds me of, because, you know, I love me some nature shit, right? There's this really cool fungi called slime mold. And slime mold is really such a fascinating organism. So they did this experiment and they made this map, and they put like little dots of food of that, like sugar and carbon, that the slime mold will eat. And they did it in how the map of Japan is. And they put these points at the exact same places where all of the train stations were in Japan. And so they threw the slime mold on there, and lo and behold, all the slime mold, it went everywhere. It spread everywhere. But then as the days went by, you would see less and less connections to some, and you would see stronger bonds on the ones that have better nutrient information, and just, it could be anything. They just have better connections. All of the connections that did not exist on the trains, the slime mold mimicked it and only had the exact train lines that the humans built, because it was the strongest bonds. And so it's cool to hear that, because I like to, you know, combine that with nature. It just sounds like you're in your slime mold phase of eliminating all them hoe-ass, you know, smaller fucking connections. And unfortunately, we are putting all the energy in these, like, deeper connections, and we're going to see the fruits of it. And so that's really, that's
a great analogy.
Yeah,
absolutely.
thank you.
I'm in my slime phase.
Yeah, you in your slime.
Right.
Slime.
Right. Free thug.
Free thug. Nah, for real. Free
Hold on,
okay.
now. Hold on. Y'all going into some crazy
No,
territory now.
just real quick. I was going. I was saying not free thug forever, because he's a terrorist. But if the law doesn't have enough shit on you for real, that it's taking this long, Hey, dog, you gotta free that man. Real quick, last question. I'm gonna ask you real quick is, if you could put literally just real quick in a 60-second monologue, what does care and community mean to you?
Okay. Care and community?
Yep.
Okay. For me, I say care is it's a natural reaction to people that you love. I think care comes with love. Even if you don't know people, love is something that like can exist before you form a connection. And I think that care is just genuine, like it's a want to see you do well. It's a want for your safety. I don't know what you're doing. I'm terrified. It's a want for just your overall well-being. When I think of the way I care for people, again, I haven't been able to build a lot of genuine relationships, but even in that, I care so much for people. I know the way I want your life. Like, I want you to have the best life you can. I want you to experience nothing but beautiful things. I don't want anything to hurt you. I think that that is care. And then the action of caring is where I feel like community comes in. Like, community is a group of people caring about each other. And it's them caring about each other enough to coexist in a way that it doesn't hurt anyone. It doesn't alter anyone. I know my videographers are so mad. I got you. Thank you. What? Oh. Y'all so sneaky. So sneaky. See,
What? What happened?
Care, again, care into community. I really do think that the foundation of community really comes from care. It comes from love and care. When you want to see people do well, when you want to see people live these non-turbulent, peaceful lives, the way that you act is what forms a community. Us all having that agreement that that's how we gonna feel about each other, that's how we gonna step for each other, that's how we gonna look at each other is what creates community, and it starts with love and care.
Hey, I just had to get out of some moment to breathe real quick, cause I literally had to let that cook real quick, cause God fucking damn it, that was fucking. Shoo-wee! I ain't gonna hold you. I'm like, yeah, that's all the shit that I learned from watching and being around you and being graced with you giving me blessings, and thank you so much for articulating what you just be doing. That's hard. We got a surprise guest, everyone. We got we using this word properly, all right? The legendary Miss Jennie Wright in the motherfucking building. Let's fucking go. Woo!
Hi, Mama.
Hi, baby.
Thank you so much for being here, Miss Jennie.
Absolutely.
I first want to just shout out these two amazing women because they have adopted me into their family, and I'm a difficult child. And they be giving me so much grace and room to operate as a difficult child. But they also understand how to reel me in with being a difficult child. And she didn't birth me, I'm not her brother. They don't owe that to me whatsoever. That's not owed. That's something that they actively do because they care about a nigga. And truly, fuck the shit that it's done for me on the outside. On the inside, it has truly meant the world to me. Y'all allowing me to just like be around y'all and giving me the grace that y'all do and the consistent lessons and the stages and just the fucking love. Like I'm a true product of y'all just being such amazing fucking women, and I just want us to just give them some love real quick on that. All right, now Miss Jennie, real quick. Miss Jennie is a legend. I was talking to her one day, and she had told me this shit that blew my fucking mind. I was like, oh my God, this is why we're fucked up. Hear me out, y'all. We have lost a lot of elders, and them elders have been filled in with old people. Now, I know that sounds wild. Like, wait, no. Elders are people that grow with time and have age as a number for how many years they've been on this planet, but they've actually gained wisdom and experience and put that to application to a point that they can explain it to a child. A lot of these old motherfuckers out here can't do that. Miss Jennie Wright, love you, brother. Have a great one, sweetie. Miss Jennie Wright is literally the prime example of proper eldership. I be thinking of these new ideas and doing new shit. But no, it's because we're not tapped in with our elders how we should be. Miss Jennie, when I was barely able to walk and literally at open mic nights as a 6 and 7-year-old at Cafe Chin Chin and shit like Cafe Sinsin and shit like that, right? Guess what she was doing? She was taking niggas who ain't barely touched dirt ever in their motherfucking life and taking them on crazy journeys to like cabins in the woods for 7 to 10 days and going on beautiful journeys and having beautiful writing poetry sessions. This is nigga activism with nature and words. She telling me this shit and I ain't had a heart to tell her in person like, oh, I was thinking of doing something exactly like that. And it's that whole thing of reinventing the wheel. She has already made the car. So now it's up to me to tap in with the elders so we can just make better roadways. We don't need vehicles at this point. The roads ain't working. Let's get these roadways fixed. So I just had to blush about you real quick on that. How has it been watching your daughter navigate these spaces, be disrespected when you told her she was gonna be disrespected, be like, this gonna happen, and it happened, and then she gotta come to you? What is it being the mama in that situation?
Wow. I never worry too much about Siri. I know she's always going to land on her feet. She always has had a good head on her shoulder. She's always had a huge heart. So, with that combination, I never worried too much. But, I did tell her, you start getting a certain amount of notoriety. People start thinking you're making a certain amount of money. You start moving in certain circles. And I don't care how wonderful you are. I don't care how sweet, godly, whatever it is that you are, people will find a reason, not to like you. And usually, unfortunately, and I always hated the word haterism or haters, but that,
Yeah.
it honestly, in a lot of ways, is what it is. So, I prayed a lot that she wouldn't have those experiences. But, human nature is human nature. So what happens right now happened 20 years ago. It's like we operate in certain cycles as humans. And unfortunately, human behavior is what it is. But, I always expected her to do what she does, which is rise above it. So, she always lands on her feet. I ain't worried.
Have you seen directly your impact of just not maybe the words, if you're saying just the examples that you brought? Have you seen the evolution of kind of her version of community that you bestowed upon her?
Oh yeah, I love watching Siri. I'm always amazed and inspired. There's a certain amount of things that I expect from her because she was given certain things and there were certain expectations on her life. Community, being of service, that was how I was raised. That's what my mother showed me. That's what my grandmother showed her. That's what my grandmother showed me. And those were the ways that Siri, was brought up. So I always expected those things from her. I had no idea the scale. And there's a lot of things that Siri will do, and I'll be like, do you know that your grandmother, did this? Just like, potluck. What Siri does on a monthly basis, with a lot of times her own money, her grandmother did listen. Because, a lot of times people don't really realize, they think you got sponsors, or you got this, or you got that. You're blessed to have a community, and blessed and willing to give what you have to other people. And when your grandmother had me in the car on Saturday instead of watching cartoons, delivering pies and food to old people, that was the same. That's your history, that's your bloodline. So I expected that from you, but to see that multiplied, by thousands of people that you're feeding, it just, it makes me incredibly proud. I know your grandmother is proud. I know your great-grandmother is proud. I know our ancestors are very well pleased. And that's, to me, kind of what it's always supposed to be about. You know, you want to set a good example for your children for the future, and then also to let your ancestors know that everything they did wasn't just to be doing. You know, they actually made an impact, and you learned, and you know, you're paying it forward.
I had to let that cook real quick. All right, gotta be respectful. Motherfuckers are dropping bombs. I almost lost my question. All right, so we have most of us, if you tapped in with Miss Jennie Wright, are knowing of her her amazing trials that she has just passed with flying colors. What has that version of community looked like and meant to you?
Goodness. You know, I had no idea who my community was. I'm gonna tell you right now. I didn't. I thought it was certain people. I thought it was my day ones. I thought it was the people that, you know, I grew up with or went to church with. And I'll say to some degree, it is, but I found that most of my community is over in that corner. That, you know, people that really, you know, I knew them and I loved them because they were serious friends. They were people that I invited into my house. I cooked for. I, you know, did the things that moms do for their kids and their friends. But I never expected that, you know, when I was in the hospital, when I was fresh out of surgery, that these were, and I call them kids, and not out of disrespect at all, because I fully respect who they are as adults. But these kids took care of me. You know, they drove back and forth from Columbus to Cincinnati. They cooked for me. They made sure I had my medicine. They cleaned. They spoke positive affirmations over me. They gave me massages. I mean, they just, you know,
Shout out, y'all, love y'all.
Far beyond anything that I would have imagined from such young people. And then there was a community that I wasn't so sure about. Like, so I have to say that I have had my own fraught relationships with white women. Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden to have this white woman in my life, OGG.
Shout out OGG.
Yeah. Who I love dearly,
she likes me.
You know. When my mother passed away, and I was very sick, still on oxygen, still had a heart pump, really couldn't do much. You know, OGG was there, not my besties, and no disrespect or slight to them, but it was not them. You know, it was Linda, who really didn't know me from Adam at that point, but she came into my house with all the love and just positive bubbliness. It is Linda. Yeah. And at first I was like, who is this white woman?
I was
in
like,
my damn house.
see it through.
Right.
Right.
She cool.
Nah, you don't even know.
And that's really what it was. And I honestly feel like, you know,
they best friends now.
Yeah.
They be going out and stuff. I be like, hold on, where's y'all at? Me and Linda just decided to go to.
Now Linda was like, I got her here. I was like, thank you.
But, you know, even down to that, I just felt like, you know, God brought her into my life to heal that wound. Because one, I don't want to have those types of fraught relationships with anyone at this point in my life. I feel like it's been too much. I've been through too much. I don't want to hate. I don't want to argue. I don't want any of that type of stuff whatsoever. And that was something that I needed to let go of. And for me, it took a person to really show me that, like, you know, regardless of where she came from, who her mama and daddy was, like, you know, we can form loving relationships. Yeah, and I just love her. So community, very much, sometimes it's not the people that you expect, but, you know, you're so blessed when you finally find those folks.
Mm-hmm. All right, unfortunately, we get into that time of wrap up, and I am so grateful for y'all, because I just been, like, honestly watching. I don't know if y'all behind me got the same feeling, but I just been, like, in awe, because, like, this has been just so beautiful to see this interaction between y'all. And one of the things that I just find weird is that other people don't find the beauty in this interaction and see the quality and the value of it, and would like to hear more of y'all's stories one another. So if anybody's listening and has any opportunities and would like to pay for really quality, I don't know, maybe family style speaking events, you got really amazing folks right here for top dollar. I'm going to do something different on this end. I like to say something crazy to end the podcast, right?
Yeah, you usually end it off on something wild or like some crazy take, something that people can argue with you in the comments.
Absolutely, absolutely. Before we get to my last word, do y'all have any last words?
Shout out black people.
Yeah.
I'll just second that.
You better, Mac. You
Cheers.
fucking better.
Cheers.
Cheerio, sir.
I think you very outnumbered in this room.
He's an octoroon. All right, so this is how we're going to end it, all right? I want to be an example of starting to do better as an adult and just shutting the fuck up and listening to elders. Just soak it in. There's a lot of game in the stories being told that can really relate to a lot of the things that were going on in our lives. And so I think it's a necessary thing for us to, if you don't already, if you do already, good shit. If you don't, really reach out to your elders, not old people, your elders. See how you can care for them. If you just simply see how you can care for them, then you'll just naturally spend time with them. Spending time with the elder is probably one of the most valuable things you could ever do because they're just naturally they're going to give it to you. They're going to give you some great game. And so in that practice tradition, I'm going to tell you where you can find me at. Wonderful World of Yazi on Facebook because that's the only one that monetizes. Ezekiel Walkers where I'll just be wilding. And if y'all want to know the truth while y'all here, I was so lonely at a point in my life and nobody fucked with me because I didn't fuck with myself so much that Facebook was the only place that I could have like a diary, and I really wanted attention and I wanted to be heard, and so I used Facebook as a diary. And now I'm very, very disappointed that habit became built because I actually don't need to do that anymore because it's pitiful and I have so many resources at my helm that I can do that. And so when I do that on Facebook, it is still a trauma response of not being heard and listened to. And so I don't really like my response and how I be on Facebook for real, if I'm gonna be honest with myself. Instagram is Yazi13, capital Y only. That's my page I actually fuck with. It's a better representation of how I like to be seen by the world, more controlled. I don't be wilding out like crazy on there because I want to be looked at differently. You can find my boy Mac at Smack Talk. You can find my beautiful brother Devin Burgess everywhere on all DSPs. Devin Burgess has some really cool shit coming up at Queen City Radio. The Kickback is back. Make sure y'all tap in and stay tuned. We have to give a huge shout out to Devin and Tetrick. Shout out, I love y'all with all my heart. Thank you for believing me and even giving me this chance to fucking talk to y'all. Shout out to Cleo Court. Shout out to Deo Gold. Shout out to Swooty Mac. Shout out to Siri Imani. Shout out to Ms. Jennie. Shout out to really y'all. So when I'm in y'all position and I say shout out to y'all, the first thought I think, I'm like, man, fuck that. I ain't even gonna lie. Don't do that. Shout out to y'all. Give yourself a round of applause. Yeah. All right, so this is the end, right? We are going to just give Ms. Jennie 3 words or 800 words. But she's just going to say some shit, whatever she want to say about community, about some motherfucker she don't like, about some whatever. Come on now. And guess what? I would appreciate no applause. When she puts the mic down, I would just appreciate silence, just for a couple moments, and then we're done. I really appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for enjoying the wonderful world of Yazi. Ms. Jennie.
Wow, just put me on the spot. I guess the thing that I want to say most about community is just about how you move through the world. My intent is just to spread love lavishly, just to let everyone that I encounter know that I love them deeply. And I think if we each do that, then the world is a better place, and you naturally build community that way. And I think that I love you all's generation for that reason, because I see that you all do share and spread love much more readily and lavishly than mine did. So just keep doing what you're doing. And I love y'all.
Sick.